Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. I've been sitting on this for a little while just because I've been so busy with other storyline videos, but there's a Shadowman Easter egg in Black Ops 4 Zombies that's much more sort of substantial than, for example, the Ascension Shadowman Easter egg where you see the silhouette of his character. Instead, this is actual, kind of physical, almost Shadowman presence in the map, in Blood of the Dead, and is just really, really cool for the storyline implications, and I love it. I think it really, really adds to just the entire feel of some of the stuff that happens with the Warden in this map. And people saw this coming as well, because in the menus for Blackout, when you get the Shadowman character, it says present in Black Ops 4. Like, the games that he is present in has Black Ops 4 in the list, so people thought there might be something coming at some point. This is our first actual proper Shadowman Easter egg in this game. So the way this is going to work is there are several radios all over the map in Blood of the Dead. And when you listen to them, some of the radios are from Maxis, and they're just general Maxis radios, but others have the Warden talking to his lord, his leader, the person that he worships, the person that is controlling his every movement. And up till now, people have thought that those radios just had gaps in them and we would never be able to hear exactly who he was talking to. But what I found on stream a couple of days ago is that you can actually hear the Shadowman if you equip your spectral shield while you're listening to the radios. I think that this is an awesome thing from Treyarch. They've done a really, really cool thing here in that they basically give us one form of the radio where we can speculate about what's being said, but we can then get a much more exciting kind of deep look into the lore that they're laying out with the radios by realizing a few days later, after that radio is initially found, that there's another layer to it. It's taking the radio format and spinning it on its head, and I think it's awesome. So what I'm going to do for you now is show you the locations and play for you all of the Warden radios in Blood of the Dead. I'll also talk about the implications of what it all means, because we learned some great information here, but the first one that I'm going to play you doesn't actually have the Shadowman talking in it, but I'm putting it in here because it's where I'm placing it in my kind of chronology of these radios. It's the second radio where we do hear the Shadowman, so just sit tight for now, and I'll check in with you after we hear this radio to talk a little about the story, and then we'll jump into the next one.
Today is a red letter occasion. I sit in my sanctuary, brandy in hand, overlooking my prize. My prison. Mine. A temple of concrete and corrupted flesh, tilting on the axis of hell itself. Oh, it is beautiful. I can't recall the last time I indulged in spirits. They appear to have gone to my head. Congratulations and good luck. So thoughtful of the DOJ to send me a bottle after all their posturing and blathering and delays. Delays! But now the island is open. A full year early, thanks to me. And its true purpose, our purpose, written in the apocryphal pages of history, pulled from the flames of ignorance. Glass. The first drop of blood. Of course, it should be my own. Not too much now. Not yet. Oh, early to bed tonight. Tomorrow, I will be reborn. What am I doing wrong? Nothing. Every interpretation by every scholar I have made real in flesh and blood, and still the Dark Ones remain silent. They are deaf, blind, and dumb wherever it is they reside in the fabric of reality. Have I not bled the wicked? Have I not placed the markers on the proper lines? What more? What more? I am tired. and I have grown so very disturbed waiting for the release that was promised, but I fear will never be delivered. Because they do not exist. No. Wretched are the thralls who despair in darkness. Wretched, wretched, wretched! The work will continue, with or without the Illuminati. All they do is talk and scheme and pass judgment on methods that they deem unorthodox. What the hell with their protection? I will awaken this island, even if it takes every last soul in her walls. If I fail, I will be locked in here, and soon join them all in hell. The result is the same.
So we see here that the Warden, even before he's really got into the meat and potatoes of his plans with the Shadowman, is a bit nuts. He is set on transforming the island and then trying to perform this ritual, essentially, which is what we see he has done when we go into the Warden's office on the map, and there's all the crazy writing on the walls and everything. And that ritual ultimately is going to be the vehicle that the Shadowman uses to form his plan about Richtofan's blood, and we're going to start hearing about that in this next radio.
No! Contraption!
Hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. Apologies, my lord. I am here.
Calm, faithful Warden, calm. I bring glad news. The world that you seek is near at hand.
Oh, thank you, my lord. Thank you. I've done my best to prepare the way. Please, where are you now?
Hidden. Trapped. Waiting.
I see. Tell me what I must do.
4 souls in your possession, 4 arriving soon. With the first, you will transform the island. Salvatore De Luca, Finn O'Leary, Billy Handsome, Al Arlington.
Salvatore, Finn, Billy, Al. Yes, my lord, I know these names.
Their sins shall be their undoing. Their eternal punishment through your sacrifice will ensnare another. His ultimate reckoning.
A trap for another. Forgive my ignorance, Lord, but how will I know what to do?
Sir, it's me, Stanley. We have a situation.
Damn the situation, Ferguson. You handle it. I am not to be disturbed.
Wait. Listen.
I'm real sorry to interrupt your prayers, sir, but there's been a murder up on the roof. It's Al Arlington.
Arlington?
Yes, sir. Part of some kind of botched escape attempt. We got Sal DeLuca and his 2 cronies in custody. Looks like it was them.
I'll be right there.
I'll be right there.
Now, personally, I love what they've done with this radio. The fact at the end that the Shadowman is like, I'll be right there, and then the Warden just repeats it. He's a drone. He's a mindless pawn for the Shadowman, doing whatever that man will want, and, well, I guess calling him a man is actually probably a little bit of a stretch. But as the Warden will say in the next radio that we'll listen to in just a second, like, he's just a worm who will absolutely suck up to the Shadowman in any way he can in order to assist in this apocryphal goal. And I think it's just fantastic the way they've written this. Now, on top of all of that, it's super cool that we hear that the Shadowman actually specifically says that the Mob of the Dead crew, that's Salvatore De Luca, Finn O'Leary, Billy Handsome, Al Arlington, they are specifically put into this loop and put into this eternal punishment because the Shadowman wills it to be so. And that whole thing is set up so they can ensnare Richtofan. It's a crazy link between these 2 maps that just really sells it in a massive way that we were kind of missing out on in a way before, I think, but it gives us a great insight into what's happening here in the story. And in this next radio, I mean, I won't spoil it, but there's some even more juicy stuff coming. I'll play it for you now.
My lord, I entreat thee to speak. I have done as you asked. The remaining 3 of the first 4 shall die by electric chair this evening, and soon after I shall join them. It will be glorious in this new realm, Lord, I have no doubt, but I confess, I am afraid. This form is weak and has taken to drink, but I do cling to it still. Please, grant me the strength to...
Grant you the strength? Oh, you poor, pathetic wretch. I will grant you nothing until your death. You know this.
Yes, my lord, of course. My life is part of the disease, and the disease must be purged. I rejoice that day has come.
But you are a base, disgusting creature that cannot help fearing for its own skin. It is not your fault.
Thank you for saying so, my lord. Truth be told, I long for the miracle that will release me.
That's a good lad. You have been an adequate servant. Therefore you will continue to serve after the corruption.
Such an honor for me.
Not an honor. A purpose. Your life's sentence. Waiting for Dr. Edward Richtofen to walk into the trap.
The Doctor. I've heard mention of him amongst the Illuminati. What would you have of him?
His blood holds great power. You will harness it all and open the way to the paradise below.
I swear, my lord, it will be done.
And one more thing.
Name it, my lord.
Spare him no pain.
Yes, Richtofen shall suffer.
Man, I love these radios so much. The fact that the Warden is literally giving absolutely everything he possibly can, and then he's like, but I'm scared. My body, I've taken to drink. And the Shadowman just responds and says, yes, you're a base, disgusting creature that cannot help fearing for your own skin. And he says thank you to that. It's so good. The most important thing in this, though, is that right at the end, the Shadowman says one more thing. The Warden says, name it, my lord, of course. And Shadowman specifically requests that Richtofen is made to suffer. He says, spare him no pain. He wants Richtofen to really feel every single drop of blood being pumped out of his veins. And it gives us some great context as to the relationship between Richtofen and the Shadowman. Richtofen at one point was working with the Shadowman. They had a friendship that was established, and that then ended up getting broken up, but we spend so little time in that part of the story and so much more in the part of the story where they're enemies that we don't really see the flavor of that relationship, but this gives us some great sort of seasoning to add in there, and I think that it's just fantastic. Now, there's another radio to go. I'll play it for you now.
The time has come. The sponge is wet on my crown. The cap screws tightened. The switch in my hand. Oh, I'm going to burn. Oh, the fools. They want justice for the toll I've extracted from this forsaken island.
Sir, there's some men from the Bureau here. I stalled them as long as I could, but they're on their way to your office now. What do you want me to tell them?
Justice? There is no such thing. There's only the will of the Dark One.
Okay. I'll just tell them you're not feeling so well then, yeah?
Do as you wish. Run, hide, beg for absolution, and perhaps he will be merciful, as he has been with me.
Shh. Do not weep, my dear Warden.
My lord, you're here.
Of course, more or less. The threshold awaits, my friend.
Yes. Yes, the threshold. One last flash of light, and the sun shall vanish into the sea.
And the darkness?
The darkness shall spread. Through every fiber of creation it shall spread.
Listen, I told you, he ain't here. He went to see some special doc on the mainland. You guys are wasting your time.
I shall be its instrument.
Oh, come on, guys, cut me a break.
I shall bleed the chosen few.
Better hurry.
The gateway will open, and paradise will fall.
If you want to die first, raise your hand.
Ah!
Yeah. See there? What'd I tell you? Nobody's home. Nothing here.
Okay, that was our last one. Plenty more stuff to love here. The fact that he's like, the cap screws are tightened, the switch in my hand, and then his laugh is like, oh, I'm going to burn. I just think that it's so good, man. Now, on top of that, when the warden is talking and Ferguson comes through and is like, there's guys here, what do you want me to tell them? The warden's like, ha, justice? There's no such thing. There's only the will of the Dark One. And Ferguson's out there like, okay, I'll just tell them you're not feeling well. Like, I love it. I love what they've done there. And then Shadowman obviously comes in and has this nice little moment with the warden. The warden says, I shall be its instrument. I shall bleed the chosen few. The gateway will open and paradise will fall. And then he throws the switch on himself and ends up in the position that we see him in the warden's house with the cover over him. That's what Ferguson's saying at the end there. And obviously is catapulted into his new form in this pocket purgatory dimension. And that sort of continues on to the warden that we see throughout the gameplay and then in the ending as well. I freaking love what they did with these. I think that Treyarch have done a masterful job of writing these radios. Absolutely head over heels in love with what they've done here. I do have to say as well that it really helps tie together all of the different strings that we had floating around with Blood of the Dead, and I'm very happy about these being in the game. I think that they're great. So hopefully you guys like them as much as I do. If you've enjoyed the video, then please drop a like. I'm so glad there's a Shadowman Easter egg in Blood of the Dead. I think that's fantastic. I'll hopefully see you guys very soon in more zombies videos. Make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications. More story explanations coming soon as well. But for now, I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.